Hi, I'm Jill Colaswano, and I'm here today to talk about IB Language and Literature at Rex Putnam High School for the 2020-21 school year. I need to share my other screen to get started. All right, so I will be teaching both the higher level 1 and 2, that's the junior and senior levels this year, and my colleague Sarah McNaughton will be teaching the seniors as well, and Laura Mundorf will be teaching the junior sections as well. So IB Language and Literature is really about one question, and that question is, how is meaning constructed through language and texts, and for what purpose? Let's break that down a little bit. So by language, we mean the methods that people use to construct meaning, such as pictures, images, color, lighting, perspective or point of view, and of course words and the way they appear on the page, just to name a few methods. And then by text, we mean literally anything that conveys meaning, such as books, of course, novels, play scripts, poetry, letters, but it could also be song lyrics, tweets, social media posts, movies, or just still pictures, advertisements of any kind, television commercials, billboards, print ads, you name it, cartoon strips or political cartoons, speeches, blogs, websites. Again, the term text is very broad and it's anything that conveys meaning. The goals of the course are for students to develop an awareness and understanding of these different text types. They'll develop their skills in reading and writing and so on, because this is, at its essence, a language arts course. They will develop their interpretive skills, their ability to understand and critically evaluate and analyze texts, and to develop an aesthetic sensibility, an appreciation for the art of language and its many different forms, and understanding that texts may elicit varied meanings. A political cartoon to one person might be spot on and hilarious, while another person might read it in an entirely different way. Students will develop their skills in communication, collaboration, and especially with the comprehensive distance learning this year, there's going to be lots of opportunity for creativity. Students will understand that texts acquire meaning when they are placed in different contexts, different social contexts, cultural contexts, and worldly contexts. These texts only have meaning when they make sense in these various contexts. They will understand the relationship and interconnections between studies in this discipline and studies in other disciplines. Text types appear in virtually every discipline, and so there are lots of connections to be made. Students will become lifelong learners, fostering interest and enjoyment of language and literature. This course is fun, and obviously we all have lots to learn. We're not ever done learning. Okay, so the overview of the course for the juniors this year, the first term, regardless of whether you're taking it first quarter or second quarter, is going to focus on the language and rhetoric of elections as explored through non-literary texts. So we're going to focus on print ads, political cartoons, speeches, and campaign advertisements of not just the current election, which will be fun and interesting, but of elections in the past as well. Term 2, the juniors will focus on songs by Kendrick Lamar. We'll read the play The Crucible by Arthur Miller, which is about the Salem witch trials of 1692 in Salem, Massachusetts. But it was written in the 1950s during the McCarthy era, and there are lots of connections to be made there. And then we'll finish the year with Persepolis, which is a memoir by Marjane Satrapi in the form of a graphic novel about the Iranian Revolution in the late 1970s. The seniors this year will study much of the same. The only difference being that in term 2, instead of studying the works of Kendrick Lamar, we will be focusing on the poetry of Sor Juana Inés de la Cruz. And I just saw recently that there is a Netflix series about her, so I need to check that out. Sounds interesting. So I'm looking forward to the curriculum this year. I think it's going to be very interesting and engaging. Grading this year, we are going to grade on a proficiency level, meaning that grades are based 100% on summative assessments. The formative work and daily work will be tracked and recorded, and teacher feedback will be given for sure. This daily work, though, will not affect a student's overall grade, but it's necessary that they do it as preparation for the summative assessments, which again are worth 100% of their grade. We've gone to this system during distance learning for a variety of reasons, but mainly because the summative assessments are the most accurate way to gauge a student's progress. And by the way, students have the opportunity to redo these summative assessments if they haven't demonstrated that their skills are at the proficient level. It's also a fair way to grade because, especially during these times, not everybody has the same opportunity for homework, for example, outside of the synchronous learning time. Many students are working, taking care of younger siblings, helping out around the house, and they may not have everything that other students have, and so it's equitable. We want to make this fair and equitable for everyone. For students who are interested in pursuing the IB certificate or diploma, the testing dates will be determined at a later time this year, but basically there's paper 1, which are 2 guided analysis essays on 2 different unseen texts. Paper 2, which is a comparative essay, has actually been canceled for this year's seniors due to COVID and just the fact that they lost some of the 4th quarter of their junior year, and things are going to look a little different this year, obviously. So I'm glad that the IB has canceled that particular exam. The individual oral is a 10-minute presentation about 2 texts as they relate to a global issue. These are of the students' choosing. And then that's followed by a 5-minute Q&A with their teacher. We will likely be doing this during the 1st quarter, and more information will come on that. The higher level essay is a 12 to 1,500 word essay about a text, either literary or non-literary, and a line of inquiry of the student's choice. Lots of room for creativity here. It's something that the student works on during the course of the school year. And the only stipulation is that the text must be different from the text that the student chooses to discuss in their individual oral. So here's a little bit more about why a student might want to pursue those exams. So seniors this year can register for the IB exams in October. The scores are based on 3 assessments. There's the oral that I was talking about, there's the higher level essay, and their score from paper 1. And all of those are put together, and a final score is given from 1 to 7. And colleges grant credit for scores above 4. So it's possible that a student could, through passing these IB exams, earn up to 12 college credits, which is equivalent to, depending on which school you go to, close to $2,500, which is a good chunk of change. So lots of incentive there. So exam registration is open from October 1st to October 30th, even for those starting in quarter 2. It's $98, and you just need to be looking for emails from Ms. Clark. And if you have questions about any of that, feel free to email me or Ms. Clark. And that's it. Thank you for listening. Normally we would have a time for Q&A, but again, please just reach out. You can email me, Ms. Clark, Ms. McNaughton, Ms. Mundorf, and we'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. So thank you. How do I get out of here now? Stop presenting, stop recording. Have a nice day.